Hi, I'm Jason, and welcome to my video journal. Dear Jason, you're getting fired. So I'm gonna start with, I'm getting fired from Sheetz. Not like the craziest reason why, but it's just attendance points. Unfortunately, during my time at Sheetz, there are a lot of times I didn't show up to work because of my girlfriend's medical health issues, my family home being flooded, mainly those reasons, going down for my girlfriend's appointments, my car breaking down, maybe like 1 or 2 days I've taken off for personal reasons. Most of those days that I did call off were because of genuine reasons in my life that did not allow me to go to work. So I didn't get fired yet. I'm probably won't be officially fired until the end of this month, but I'm not gonna go too much into detail with it because not that I don't want to, I just don't want to get any of my supervisors in trouble, not like anyone from Sheetz management, I guess, will really see this, but just to play it safe, because I like all the management there at Sheetz, I don't want to get them in trouble. So that is what I'm gonna say about it, but I am going to get fired. And because I'm gonna get fired, I already have a job lined up. I have already applied for a Amazon delivery company, is what my girlfriend's brother does. So, I mean, there's rough days, you gotta be outside more, gotta lift a lot of packages, walk a lot, be outdoors. But I like driving. I want to be a little more active, so hopefully it's not an issue. I'm pretty confident in my own physical ability, to be honest. So not really too worried about that, but I haven't experienced it yet, so we'll see what happens. But I went to the interview, drove 40 minutes all the way up to Altoona, went to the interview, and there are 3 people giving interviews. 1 person on the far back, 1 person on the right, and a person like close to like where I entered. I took the interview with the person on the far back. So walked in. It was an outside interview. We were like on like a patio porch thing. So walked over, probably 5 minutes during that was my entire interview. She asked me a bunch of questions. I answered back, and I guess might have answered it properly or well enough that she liked it. And I was just like, all right, you got the job. You'll be contacted of taking a drug test, when your training should be, and you're all set. I'm like, all right, cool. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I walked out. While the person on the right, I don't know how long he's been, but he was in his interview when I came in, and he was still in his interview when I was walking out. Maybe he was applying for a different position, maybe a little more important, or ask more questions than I did, but I felt kind of bad because my interview was just really quick. After that, me and my girlfriend kind of just took a day in Altoona, hopped by a GameStop to see if we can find any Pokemon cards. I ended up actually finding a gentleman there that used to work at the State College GameStop, and it made me wonder, or maybe question, why I haven't seen him at that State College GameStop in a long time. And the reason is because he now is the manager at the Altoona one, which is really cool. I'm really happy for him. Hopefully he's doing really well. I also took my second ever drug test. My first one was at Home Depot, but it was like a con swab test. It wasn't nothing crazy, but this is my second drug test I've taken, and it was a urine sample one, and I've never done that before. We went to the facility that did the drug test, and it was really awkward because I didn't know what to do. You know, we went through a typical protocol of all the information and stuff like that. She was like, here's the cup, pee to this line, there's the bathroom. And she opened the door, and I kind of walked in holding the cup, and I'm like, can I close the door? She was like, yeah, of course. Dumbass question, I should have known. Close the door. And then on the wall, there's a sign that says, please do not flush the toilet. Please do not wash your hands. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of weird. And right before I came in, she also said, when you're done, please put the sample on the back of the toilet. I'm like, okay, no problem. So I'm in there, and luckily I had to pee. So I was like, well, it'd be weird if I just peed on the floor. So I went to the toilet and, did my thing, got up to the line, any little excess, we were into the toilet. And when she said back of the toilet, I didn't know if she meant like the back of the seat, that little space behind the back of the seat, or on top of the tank. But I didn't want to take any chances. So I was like, back of the toilet seat, just finish your sentence for her. So that's why I put it. Came in, didn't really say anything, so she just took it. And I kind of just sat there. I was like, I really want to wash my hands, but the sign says to not wash your hands. So I didn't know. So I kind of just stood there, and she was staring at me, and I was like, can I wash my hands? She goes, yeah, why wouldn't you? I'm like, oh, well, the sign said, whatever. So then went to wash my hands. Finally went all good, just sent it in, and kind of just went on my way. So that was my first experience doing a urine test. After that, finally went home, and on Thursday, I think the pre-order for Pokemon Legends ZA came out. And if you pre-order it on the Pokemon Center website, you can get a random plushie of one of the 3 starters. I think it's either Chikorita, Totodile, or Tepig. I'm Team Totodile. That's my dog. Really cute. Really hope I get him. If not, I'm kind of hoping for Chikorita because I just don't really like the Tepig line. Not a really big fan of Emboar, so I really hope Totodile, number 1, and then 2 Chikorita, 3 Tepig. So I really hope I get Totodile, or I might be really sad. That same Thursday, Jang ended up leaving me because she had to go back to take care of some business with her mother in Philly. So for that weekend, I was basically left by myself, left to fend for myself. Luckily, I am a capable human being, kind of, and it wasn't that much of an issue. Just took the bus to and fro work. Took my bike to Sheetz, so it wasn't that bad. But while she was gone, or when she left, she was driving back home. It's about a 2.5 hour drive, and we got into an argument because I was home, I was on Discord with my friends, playing some games while she was driving back. And usually she likes to join Discord to have background music. So when she doesn't want to listen to music, she's at least listening to other people talking and stuff like that. And she can still interact with me. But you know, in my POV, I was playing games, but I was cooking stuff in my Instant Pot, so I didn't really need to attend to it. But I was too busy playing games, and my girlfriend knew I was too busy playing games, so she asked me, hey, you check the Instant Pot for your food? And I said, yeah, I'll check when I'm done with this game. But I kind of gave it in like a dismissive way. So she got mad, so she left the call. My immediate thought was that she lost connection, and I didn't call her, I didn't text her, because obviously texting and driving is bad. Didn't really want to distract her from a ride home, and assumed that she would call me when she got home. That was the exact opposite. She thought, you know, I didn't care, that I didn't check up on her. I just dismissed her, didn't try to interact with her, try to keep her company on her ride home. And you know, that is on me, because maybe like, even though my thoughts weren't really impure or anything, when she left Discord, I should have checked up on her, made sure she was okay for the ride, or, you know, made sure that everything's okay with her, because if something did happen on her way home and, you know, I didn't contact her in any sort of way to make sure she was all right, I would have felt so guilty. And it would have been my fault because I wouldn't have known, right? So that was a little spat we got into, that it does happen quite often, because when I play video games, I get pretty absorbed into it. So trying to really get out of that habit and try to be a little more attentive. That's the reason why I stopped wearing like over the head noise canceling earphones, is because so like I can, you know, hear her saying something, or if I need to just take an earbud out real quick and talk to her. Yeah, I feel really bad about that. But also because of me leaving Sheetz and getting this new job, I'm also changing my schedule at Walmart. So I will soon be working 7 days a week, because the delivery job is 4 hours, 10 days. Is 10 days, 4 days, 10 hours. And so I'm also going to work part-time at Walmart the 3 rest of the days that I'm not working the delivery job. To make things a little more accessible for me and my girlfriend, I was suggesting we get 2 cars, because we only have 1 currently. And I have this issue of also, when I want something, I want it now. Very impulsive. When I was telling her that we need to get this second car, it really felt like I was pushing it for it immediately, and I kind of was, but I was pushing it for immediately, and like, we need it now, it's gonna make our quality of life better, yada, yada, yada. And my girlfriend is like, no, we don't need a second car. We've been fine with 1 car this whole time. And you know, if something happens, we'll make it work. And we also just don't have the money for a second car. But I was telling her how necessary it was for us to have a second car, how much better our life would be, how much more convenient it would be. And we got into this whole argument, and bottom line is, yes, would be nice, but we just do not have the money for it. So, and if we do have the money for it, it will really be pushing our money backwards, because it will basically be all of our money at that point. It was an argument, but we ended up coming to a compromise where the idea of having a second car is great. If we're able to make it work, we can, but we have to have it in the bounds of our finances, which I agree with. It was pretty hasty of me, because I thought I can, you know, use my mom's car or buy like a cheap car off Craigslist, or like, you know, something like that. Something that was non-committal, but it is an expense upfront that we don't really have the luxury to do so. Speaking of car stuff though, I have to send my car to the shop again, because it still has a check engine light and I need it to pass inspection. It's the catalytic converter. I was really hoping it wasn't. We already fixed it, but it seems like still having problems. So we gotta go back and fix it. I really don't want to spend another $1,000 to $2,000 on the car, but you know, I might have to. I don't know what we're gonna do. We'll figure it out though. But I mean, car still runs fine. It's just still has issues, even after just coming back from the mechanic, which is really sad. Speaking of sad, I was reminded the other day at Sheetz about the dumbest thing I probably said this year. I say a lot of dumb things, but this one is genuinely dumb. We're at Sheetz, me and my coworker Jake. I'm making mozzarella sticks, and I'm like, man, mozzarella sticks are really cool. You know, when you break them apart, they're really stringy, really stretchy. It's so satisfying to eat, you know, it's just cool, right? And Jake's just like, yeah, it's pretty cool, I guess. Just a mozzarella stick. And I'm like, what kind of cheese is in a mozzarella stick? Shut the fuck up. And then we just started dying of laughter. Don't think I've ever said anything as dumb as that before. Because that was a genuine like thought. Like that was a genuine thing that came out of my mouth, and that was a genuine question at the time. Until I used my brain a little bit. This wasn't along the same lines, but it did happen during the week, where my buddy Sean is still working on his high fantasy story, and he was telling me about his low power system, and was saying how, you know, maybe people are going to emit some type of energy off of them, or element type, or something just emitting off of the person's natural body. Just like how humans have a small amount of radiation emitting off of them. And I stare in his face and I go, fucking Hiroshima. Usually Sean is the one that says the out-of-pocket things, but like he says out-of-pocket things when I'm the one trying to have this serious conversation with him. And he likes talking to me about this stuff because he knows, you know, the nerd talk we had before about his whole power system to begin with. And he was trying to have a serious conversation with me and wanted my input on this stuff. And I meme the fuck out of him. Usually that doesn't happen. Usually it's the other way around. So the bros got swapped that time. It was really funny. I forget what I said though. I said something that actually helped him and he really liked the idea, but maybe he can remind me because I really don't remember. But yeah, that about rounds up my week. So I guess I do this again next week.